you haters! This video is not for kids! Go find another toilet to shit on!
The busy season had arrived on the island of Sodor. Goods arrived day and night at the docks and harbors, and the trains on the main line got longer. The engines were getting overworked, and it was clear that help was needed.
This is getting all too much. All those extra trips along the main line. It wears an engine out.
For once, I have to agree with James. All those extra trains need to get up the hill, you know. I don't have all the strength to do that and work on my branch line.
Exactly.
And that's why I voted for 2 new engines. One for the main line and one to help bank engines up Gordon's Hill.
The engines were pleased.
When will these engines arrive, sir?
On Monday. And in the meantime, I need all of you to do your best.
Edward was shunting in the yard when he heard a whistle he had never heard before.
Who is that?
Edward was amazed. The engine had 10 driving wheels, and its green paint sparkled in the early morning sun.
Hello, I'm Murdoch.
Hello, Murdoch. I'm Edward.
So you're Edward. I've heard a lot about you.
Really?
Indeed. Anyways, when do I start my work?
Have you ever banked a train before?
A lot of them. I worked on the Likey incline for a few years.
Oh, that's good to hear. You're... Whoa, that must be the other engine Sir Topham Hatt talked about.
I did see him while I was passing Bower Station. He was talking to some other diesel about showing those silly steamers how diesels are the future.
That can only mean trouble.
Not bad. I've seen worse. At least you're all clean.
The engines gaped.
It's not your fault really, but you're all out of date. Your controller should scrap you. Get engines like me. Fill of oil at the touch on the starter and I'm off with no bother, no waiting. You take hours before you're ready.
At last, when the engines found their voices, an inspector had to come and stop the noise. They held an indignation meeting early next morning.
Disgraceful!
Disgusting!
Despicable! To say such things to us is to teach him a lesson we'd be wanting. Now how do we do it?
But no one had any good ideas when at last they all went off to work. Except for Doc and Stepney.
Never mind. I'm sure we'll think of something else.
We'll have to be quick then.
But their chance came sooner than expected. The diesel was being warmed up well before time. An inspector watched the fitter making adjustments. The wind tugged at the inspector's hat while the fitter replaced the air intake cover.
Okay, mate.
The diesel looked over to the station and saw his coaches waiting. He rolled proudly towards them.
Look at me, Duck and Stepney.
He just passed them when it happened. Suddenly, he coughed, choked, and stopped. The inspector, meanwhile, had seen none of it. He was looking for his hat.
And we, help you at all?
Doug and Stepney pushed the diesel back to the siding. As the cavalcade went past the inspector, he suddenly called out.
My hat!
Bother your hat. The train is due in 10 minutes. Duck, you'll have to pull it.
Roy? I can't pull that.
Can I help him, sir?
Yes, Stephanie, you may.
The engines and their crews make careful plans.
A good start is just the thing we need on a job like this.
So as they backed down, they dropped sand on the rails, rolling it firm with their wheels.
Gordon will take her from halfway, so just get the train there. Never mind about being late. Good luck.
Don't worry, sir. We'll get there and be early too.
They stood there, sizzling with excitement, ready and eager to be off. At last the guard blew his whistle. The engine stuck their wheels into the sand and gave a great heave.
Come on! Come on!
Now for a sprint.
I'm ready when you are.
Faster and faster they went, till their wheels were turning at such speed that their side ruts were nearly blurred. They rushed through Wellsworth, giving Edward and Murdoch quite surprised. They began charging the hill as they felt the drag of their coaches here. It was hard work, but once arms being over the top, the last mile were plain running. And they swept into the big station in fine style.
Hello, you two. You're early. That's one of the headlamps for old Diesel.
Have you heard the latest? The Diesel had sucked the inspector's hat into his air intake. James says he's as sick as boiler sludge and he's soaking in the shed. Out of date, are we?
Everyone was sad the next day when Stepney had to go. All the engines came to see him off. The head controller made a speech. The underdog doctors made everyone sing Auld Lang Syne. And then Stepney puffed off to a chorus of cheers and whistles.
Good boy, Stepney.
Goodbye, Stepney.
But what about the Diesel and Murdoch? The Diesel slept away the night before. He said goodbye to no one. And Murdoch? Oh well, that's a story for another day.